What is a soul group? So, based on the idea of reincarnation, you don't just get one shot at life. You get to experience many incarnations, many lifetimes, and so do those around you. And so, what happens is throughout the different lifetimes, also based on agreements and perceptions we create in the in between space between lifetimes, we create the understanding that we would like to connect with certain souls, certain people. So, before a soul is born into a human body, there is a profound awareness of every other being who is going to be incarnated at the same time, who is going to be alive. And also, what are their challenges going to be? What are their lessons? What is their main focus in life? And because we have this data, we get to create cross connections and set up potential meeting points. And so this touches upon this whole idea of destiny and free will. So it is our destiny to experience a certain lesson, a certain point of view, a certain karmic perception. However, how we go about it is absolutely part of our free will. We can choose to just sit and do nothing with it. We can choose to be very ambitious and dive very deeply into the experiences in that lifetime. There's really no limitation. Our soul sets the parameters, sets the bigger picture. And then once we're born, we dive in or we stay stuck, or, life happens and we do our best. So that tells you right there, life is not predestined, nor is life completely and absolutely just free will. And so, as we chart the intention while we are in spirit form for what will happen with us during the lifetime, what we're learning, what we're looking to learn, we are aware of who else is going to be on earth at that same time. And so we set tentative appointments in 30 years on a Saturday on this and that street corner, or at this place, at this party, through this friend. I am going to meet this person. However, before I get to those 30 years, I may take between a billion detours. I may take a million more ways of learning and experiencing. So just because I set that tentative meeting point with this person, it doesn't mean that it will necessarily happen. So going back to the question of soul groups, there are there are souls that we create life with, and we say, you know what, this was fun or challenging, or we can do more, let's do more. And we go right into our next experiencing, assigning different roles. So now, if you are a specific, of course you are, but if you are a certain gender in this life, if you are a certain skin color, if you belong to a certain group, it doesn't mean that this is the only point of view. In fact, it will be such an imbalanced learning for the universe to create only through that singular point of view of that life, of that experience. So what I'm trying to say is, you've been and you will be every skin color. You will be every version and shade of rich and poor. You will be every opportunity and lack of. You will go through every challenge and every joy, because it's all information, it's all learning. And so, if in this lifetime somebody is your brother, in another lifetime there might be your lover, your child, your best friend, a merchant that you see in a store, and you have a strong connection. I had that feeling one time when I was on Cape Cod and I was visiting this lighthouse. And I visited this lighthouse, and the lighthouse keeper was there, and she was giving a tour. And I didn't exchange much information with her, but there was such a profound sense of familiarity. Oh, there you are. Oh my God, how have you been? How are things? So definitely, this is somebody I have crossed paths in different lifetimes. However, in this lifetime, just the reminder was good enough. Oh, we haven't had any new soul contracts to be like, we should play together. Let's learn. While, on the other hand, my relationship with my mom is so meaningful and so profound to me that when I think about her, I'm definitely certain this is somebody who is in my soul group. And I sometimes even imagine us next to each other on a soul level, right in between lives, sitting next to each other and just in such place of love and appreciation with each other and being like, okay, like two little girls, okay, let's play again together, right? Should we play again together? What should we do? What role should we assume? Oh, you want to be the mom? Okay, I'll be the daughter. I think of us that way because, she's such an incredible person in my life, such an incredible soul, and oh, everything. I can speak about my mom for hours and hours, how much I value her and appreciate her. So, how do we know if somebody is part of our soul group? Hmm. So now, if you have a strong relationship with family members, the way I have strong relationships with my family members, definitely, definitely, that's a guarantee right there that these people are part of your soul group. But sometimes people are part of a soul group where ugh, they don't like each other very much and they don't get along very well, I should say, and where the relationships are very challenging. And so now, is this a soul group? Most definitely. In other lifetimes, there have been experiences where we hurt other people, where we hurt others knowingly, unknowingly, where they hurt us. And what better way for us to clear those karmic connections, those karmic ties, to balance out learning by being in a family relationship and connection in this lifetime? What better way to do it that way, right? So, a mom and a son who have a very challenging relationship. Oh Lord, what better place and dynamic to put two people who in other lifetimes have been bickering and fighting and possibly killing one another, right? Or how about this? How about the experience of meeting somebody and that immediate soul recognition of, oh my God, I am madly, wildly connected with you. I want to know everything about you. I want to be romantically entangled with you. And so we take this to mean that this relationship will be very passionate, which it will be, but that it will be, our always and forever after person. Not necessarily. So I'm thinking of right now a relationship where the two people met. There was instant attraction. This is a real life example. An instant attraction and an instant, oh my God, I want to be with you. And yet, as the relationship was unfolding, there's challenges. And so the person messaged me and said, Mira, during a past life regression workshop with you, I experienced a lifetime where we were lovers who were separated and we were very interested in each other, but we couldn't continue the relationship. And so I know this is that person. I know it like I know it, like I know it. And so here they are. They're finding each other and under a different set of circumstances, no war to separate them, no unfortunate circumstances. So there they are. They're together. And it's not working. It's not working. There's so many challenges. Things are hard, things are different, that they're learning how to communicate. There's so many different pieces going into it. And so because of that, it's really just, an opportunity to learn and to kind of pick up from where we left off, and to say, okay, now without war, without separation, we get to be together. We kind of get to continue what we started in another lifetime. But let's not confuse this wild attraction and comfort we have with each other with, this is my forever person. Let's be smart about it. Let's be real. Is this working, right? Is this working practically in this lifetime? That's why, as romantic as I am, and as much as I love romance and love, I also know that relationships are very entangled with cross connections from other lifetimes. So I'm never starry eyed in, oh my God, my soulmate. This is my soulmate. There's so much more that goes into the recipe of an incredibly well working relationship. And by the way, I wrote a manual on it. It's called a couple's journal. And it will be coming out in a couple of months. So we'll be talking so much more about creating healthy relationships. Because, yes, so contracts, so entanglements bring us together. And yet, then the question is, and what do we do now? And so this is reminding me of a regression I did yesterday. I want to tell you the story. So the person came in and said, I separated 6 months ago from this partner of mine. We've been together for years, 5 years. And I was really committed. We were starting a family together. We were going to get married. And yet we made the conscious choice to separate. And so, what he shared is, even though I have this profound awareness, even though I've worked through my trauma, even though I understand how to manifest, I understand how to bring the best out of a relationship, and still we chose to separate. And I am aware that that is the right choice, but now I cannot let go of the person. I'm having the hardest of times. And so, he wanted to know how to allow for the disconnection. And so now I guided him to a past life where he experienced being this man who was raising sheep and living in this place alone. And he was immediately aware of the absence of his wife and the absence of the children. And so he shared that the woman has died in childbirth. And he was so devastated, so lost. He shared different scenes, different moments in that life of where he would just sit there and be profoundly confused of what to do, right? Like, I thought my life was going to go one way, and all of a sudden it's, I'm completely in the unknown and I don't know what to do. And it took some time for the man to start engaging with life, engaging with other people around him again, not just hide and sit in his grief. And eventually, in that life, he was highly regarded and celebrated for his skills, for his work. And yet, even though he would engage with people and communicate with people, his heart was always in pain. His heart was always missing his wife and his child. And so, what was so interesting is that at the end of the life, there was the regret of not letting anybody new in, right? Like the regret of, hmm, I could have opened up to so much more love and created love and shared experiences. The people were around. It was me who was closed off to people. And so that was the learning. But here's the piece that I want to highlight for all of us. It made such total sense why in this life the pain was amplified, because that's what he was asking, right? Why am I so attached? Why is this so hard to let go of? I understand I can keep loving this person and let go, and yet I'm still in this place of, I hope life brings us back together somehow. I hope we can bridge the gap. And this is the cross connection with this other lifetime, right, where he lost the wife and the child in childbirth. And this is the incredible thing about past lives. They really are present within us. on one hand, we can use the word impact, right? They really impact us. But on the other hand, it's not so much that we don't have free will to shake it off. It's just that right now, at this time, this man, this client of mine, is going through the experience of, what do I do? And because, through this breakup, through this grief, through this sadness, and he's cross connecting with this other lifetime, and the energy is very impactful, very influential. And so he could say one of two things. He could make the same choice of, I had my chance. I blew it. Let me focus on work. Let me do what I can do to, because work, when we are in place of grief, becomes a wonderful place of escape and control. And so let me control my life, right? Let me control experiences. Let me focus on work where I don't get to have my heart open and in pain yet again. And so he could do that. It was so obvious he can make the same choice. Or he can learn from this other lifetime and say, oof, as hard as it is, I'm going to open my heart again. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing connection. I'm choosing to be brave and bold. I'm choosing. And so that's really the influence of these past lives. Now, here's the mind blowing part. You ready for this? Just like past lives can influence us, so can future experience influence us. Are you getting it? It just blows my mind what I'm saying right now. So to us, it's very acceptable, but of course, the past impacts me. Of course, of course. But have you ever considered that the future equally impacts you? Mm, mm, mm. Because time flows in all directions, right? As Einstein said, time and the flow of time from past, present, and future is a stubbornly persistent illusion, which means that the time can flow backwards from the future to us. So here's an example. A man, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, profound aversion to a specific perfume, cannot stand it. It's just, I don't understand. I've been fine with this perfume. Mm, uh, I'm fine with this perfume. My mother is wearing it. I have nothing against it. And all of a sudden, I cannot stand this perfume. It makes me sick to my stomach. The thought of it makes me want to puke. The smell of it makes me want to run out of the room. The man is profoundly impacted by this perfume. No explanation. You and I might think, oh, it's chemicals, it's allergies, oh, right? Like we can come up with some biological explanations. And here's the explanation. 5 years from now, his mom dies, he finds her, and she's wearing that perfume. And so, in that moment of grief and sadness, he is smelling the perfume on her, and his future self is making the cross connection of grief and loss, and the future self is sending that information backwards in time. So when the man smells that perfume 5 years back in time, his reaction is, I cannot stand this. Can you imagine this? Can you think of the implications in your own life? Have you had experiences where, for absolutely no reason, all of a sudden your attitude changes, something impacts you, you have no idea what this is about, and you're just saying, this is too much, I cannot handle it? So consider this explanation as a possibility. Future timeline learning, where the future is flowing backwards and giving you the information. What are your thoughts on this? I would love to hear. I will see you soon. I love you. Bye for now.